Go.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Late Late Horror Show. Hey Dino, unfortunately Morgan Fairchild didn't call and neither did Donna Mills.
But you know who did?
Who?
Lee Grant. Ooh, my.
Is it just me? Or is it getting crazier out there?
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Late Late Horror Show. I am Dino as always, and that is Dave Plouffe. One word, he says, tennis. If you've watched the episode, you know exactly what he's talking about. But anyways, hello, everybody. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up button. Comment after the show. And yeah, do all that good stuff. But this is going to be fun, as always. We're talking Columbo. It seems like forever, Dave, since we've talked Columbo.
It's been at least a couple months. And this is episode 2, technically. It's the second pilot.
And I'll tell you this much, even though I enjoyed this immensely, the first one, Murder by the Book, technically the first pilot, oh my God, Dave. I loved it twice as much as this. But go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, actually, Murder by the Book is the third episode. It's the one after this. Yeah, we go prescription murder with Gene Barry, and he strangles his wife.
Yeah.
Then we have Ransom for a Dead Man, and then finally Murder by the Book, which is outstanding. It's the top Columbo because you got Steven Spielberg, Stephen Bochco, and of course wonderful actors such as Jack Cassidy.
Well, exactly. And you know what? That makes perfect sense because this one, which I'm not saying mediocre, I really enjoyed it. These three Columbo movies, 1, 2, and 3, this one being sandwiched into two great ones because I love those other ones way more than this one. I really did. This kind of seemed, I'll get into it in a second. I have some stuff to say about it, even though I loved it. Listen, Columbo, the early years, this is 1971. And again, we're talking Columbo, Ransom for a Dead Man. Fantastic. And of course, we got to always throw out there, you know, there's something sexy about Lee Grant in this episode.
There's even something about Margaret Wilson.
Uh-oh. Let's hope Dave, one way or the other, if Dave doesn't catch up. Yeah, you're really buffering. Let me say hi to everybody in the chat real quick. Rajram, what's going on? Harry Scott, John Swan, good to see you. Connie Clary, what is going on? Jimmy D. Seems like forever since I've seen Jimmy D. Lizzie, good to see you. Black Roses. I think you mentioned something about Gothic dresses coming out soon because it'll, you know, summer they start bringing out fall stuff. But anyways, yeah, Black Roses, I tell you. Anyways, Edward Stewart is here. Mr. Ed. Mr. Ed is on a computer now.
He is. He had to switch from his phone.
Yeah, but he hasn't been on his computer in so long. Hopefully he can type okay. I would think it's easier to type on a keyboard on a computer, Mr. Ed, than the phone where you go. Bloop, 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 bloop. I can never get my fingers to hit. My fingers are too big, I guess. I always hit the letter next to it. Or maybe it has something to do with the glasses. I don't know. Sweet Indigo is here. Who else? Rad Star is here. Ezra is here. What's going on? Good to see everybody. Nathan. Ooh, turning out in droves. Black Roses. Let me put that up there. Remember, for 20 months at level 2 support. Also want to thank everybody. Been having some really good overnight streams. I don't know where all the listeners have come. The channel's doing great, and I do wish we had more likes and more comments on the channel. That's all I would ask for people in the chat. That would help out a lot. Tom O is here too. What's going on, Tom O? There you go. I'm going to sit back now. I'm done. Hopefully Dave's caught up. Are you caught up, Dave?
I don't know. I'm pretty caught up.
Looks like it. Yeah. Okay. MOR, what's going on? You're here too. Good to see each and every one of you. Hit that thumbs up. Gigi is here. Hello, everyone. A wonderful Sunday evening to you, Dino and Dave. Thank you. So let's get to Columbo.
thank you for everyone who joined us last week with Jeff Thompson. It was a wonderful interview. Over 1,500 views for the week, which is the highest interview show we've ever done by hundreds and hundreds of people, and as many as 100 live viewers during that time. So that's amazing.
It's rare to get, unfortunately, I don't know why that is, but guests, when you have a guest on, usually doesn't go very well. You don't get a lot of good numbers and stuff like that. But yeah, that was a good show, and we talked some good stuff. So yeah, Harry Scott, let me go here real quick. Mr. Ed's having tech issues.
Welcome to the group.
Harry Scott, member for 34 months at level 2 support. Thank you, Dino and Dave, for all that you do for us. Thank you, Harry. Appreciate that. Hopefully you get sick, Mr. Ed. Sometimes dust builds up on the computers and you got to break them out. Is it a Macintosh like back in like an 88? No, I know. All right. Jeff Thompson was great. Thank you. Okay. Traveling Fools. What's going on? Good to see you. Okay. So here we go. Columbo. I was just jonesing for a Columbo movie, episode, whatever, the early years, which I call the 70s there. That's my decade for Columbo. But this almost seemed like two different parts, a Columbo episode, a Columbo movie, whatever. But it also disassociated a little bit from Columbo. Do you understand what I'm saying?
No, I don't.
Okay.
But that's okay. I had some problems with this episode as well. It was a hour 38. So it was not, it was not like our 90-minute episodes that are actually done in, 65 minutes. Yeah. This is a really long episode. And I felt that there was a lot of filler in certain particular parts.
Agreed.
That, they didn't need to extend the conversation out that much, things like that. So,
right. 100% agreed.
Okay.
And no car.
In Columbo lore, they have not gotten the car yet. I don't think that shows up until the next episode.
Oh, okay. So the first two, no car. Okay.
Yeah.
And another thing I want to throw out there, again, it was, for me, it seemed disassociated. A Columbo movie, but like you said, a little drawn out in parts. I think that's where when Columbo was not involved and they were like kind of spreading it out there and putting some filler in there, it just, kind of didn't lose me a little bit because this was good. This was really, really good. That's my only, I want more Columbo. Anyways, Margaret's office, Dave. We always talk about offices from the 70s.
Yeah.
This might be in my top 5. I mean, this is a good, something about this office, from the couch, the decor, the desk, the phone. What was up with that phone machine, Dave?
I have never seen anything like it before or since.
No. And I wonder if it's a real thing. It has to be.
That is a note I had down. I don't know if it's real or not.
Huh.
But it is,
you want to describe it a little bit, or
the idea of the punch card?
Yeah. There's a punch card that, hello, JLR. There's a punch card that you kind of slip into this phone, pad phone. And it sends, I'm trying to figure this out. Does it call an agency?
Calls the client with a particular message.
Yes, and she uses it for like a voice message a little bit later on.
Yeah,
but either way you look at it, it was the strangest phone system setup thing I've ever seen. I mean, it was gigantic, and it
had to weigh like 100 pounds.
Oh God!
And it was for the richest people because it was in a top lawyer office.
Oh yeah. But the office.
What did you think about the secretary there in the lawyer office?
Was the secretary? Was that Gloria?
No, I'm just kidding. It was there's a guy who was sitting there going, "I'm not the secretary. I'm an associate." The secretary called out sick. So
well, yeah. Later on, he talks. Yeah, he's the other lawyer in the firm. I guess basically she has a firm with her husband, which we'll get into show here. It's Williams and Williams, and then somebody else. He's a lawyer too, but she's the big lawyer. And when the secretary isn't there, he has to relegate himself as being the secretary. I thought that was funny.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah. So where do we get started?
Well, we get started with a ransom note.
Yes, we do.
And ransom for a dead man. We have literally a 1940s. I'm going to cut up a newspaper and paste it onto a piece of paper.
Well, there were color letters too. This was your typical serial killer thing where you cut up little letters, or maybe ransom letters, but anyways, you cut out words from different magazines and newspapers and stuff, put it on a letter so nobody can know who you are. Yet, oh my God, it's big blocky, so it's that. But what caught me was when she put it in the mailbox. After the front of it had all of that on it.
It needed a big letter too.
But wouldn't it? Yeah.
The standard size, it was like, it wasn't the standard envelope. It was like business class because it had to get all the letters in there.
But wouldn't a postal worker look at that and go immediately, oh, we've got either a serial killer or ransom letter here. Let's take that directly to the police,
I would be worried that some of the letters would fall off in transit.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. And it doesn't say exactly what you mean for it to say. Like Seinfeld, the Post-its or what else? No, the label maker, the label baby junior or whatever. It just wouldn't stick. And all the labels fell off. And
they didn't just fell off. They went pop.
It popped off. Yeah. But anyways, yes. We are. Oh, and the Williams estate. This takes place in a big famous mansion, right?
It does. The mansion's name is Casa Encantada.
Okay.
I have no idea what that means.
Me either.
But it is a house where Conrad Hilton originally built and lived. I forget the guy who ran Dole Company. He lived there, and then it changed hands a couple more times. It was last sold for $94 million, and it is for sale today. You can buy it. $175 million.
What the hey? Yeah. Oh my God.
It's right in the middle of Beverly Hills Country Club. So you literally have golfers all around you.
Man. But yeah, this mansion looks nice. I mean, it's got its look, 70s. I'm sure they've updated some parts of it, but anyways, Tom Old Charles Manson, what's going on there? Yes, love The Office, love all that. Let's get into it. So we open with that, her making a letter. She's setting up this murder that's going to happen, Dave.
She is. She's also splicing tape, which we did when I was taking broadcasting classes, where you literally do a reel to reel for the hesitation on my side of the computer. It is cutting out reel to reel, splicing it, putting it back together. So it sounds like, help, I'm being held hostage. They want $300,000 and they want it tomorrow. More instructions to come later.
Yeah, I think she cut out the part where it says they got me. Because I think she just scissors to it, and it was connected to the recorder, which the recorder looked pretty cool too.
I had one of those.
The exact same one?
Not the exact same one, but I had a reel to reel as a kid.
Okay. Yeah. No, I didn't have a reel to reel. I had one of those like cassettes ones, So a little bit later. Yeah. You're a little older. So no, I'm nowhere. I think we're the same age.
By 4 months, but
But reel to reel.
Yeah, we had a reel to reel. We actually had 2 reel to reel players.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Hey, Mandy. It's been a long time. What's going on?
Next thing we're going to see is Dr. Hoffman.
Haven't seen Dr. Hoffman in a couple of years, right? It's been a while. Anyways, yeah. So she's setting all that up. the tape recorder. It's the Bronson matter is what he's calling up about, but she clips it all out of there. But basically, it's going to be they want $300,000 tomorrow night as a ransom. That's it.
Yeah, and it's so funny because that's not a whole lot of money today. Right?
No,
Yeah,
when they were talking money.
Yeah,
and
especially for a big lawyer firm and a big home like that, I'd be all like, you need at least $1 million, man.
Oh, yeah. When they were throwing around like numbers, even with the daughter, Margaret. Yeah, Margaret. No, Leslie. Am I getting them mixed up? Margaret's the daughter.
Margaret is the daughter.
Okay. And Leslie is the stepmother of Margaret.
Yes.
And Margaret comes in later. But yeah, no, she's even when she's talking about school and her like allowance and the money she's going to get, when she turns of age, I'm just like going like, that's not a lot of money.
No, if she was still living on that today, she'd be in the poverty level.
Yeah, she's like $35,000 a year for the next 5 years. I'm like,
yeah,
what is that? It's not that much.
Not even a car.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, even for back then, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. That's crazy. But yeah, the Paul. So then after all of that, we see Paul Williams, the lawyer. I've been here, you guys. Just not being quiet, Mandy, because I haven't seen you pop up in a long time. But what? Anyways, so Paul Williams, her husband, and he's part of the lawyer firm. He shows up, he drives up, comes into the house, he gets his mail.
Big Lincoln Town car.
Big Lincoln Town car. Comes through the door. You see the extravagant house and
oh yeah. I mean, how do you like that? He comes in, big huge doors, throws down his keys, picks up his mail from the little mail holder, goes through it, literally
throws the bills in the fireplace.
Throws it into the fireplace. That's
Bill.
That was so incredible.
That was like Fred Sanford. It's a Bill. You just burn them up, going in the garbage. Anyways, yeah, and yeah, guess who's? Yeah, he's doing all that and stuff, and there's somebody sitting in a chair. But
yeah, I actually love this scene because from where the angle is, you don't see the murderer. No. The murderer is literally sitting in a chair, and she's diminutive enough to where the chair is above her, and he turns, and it's kind of a little bit of a surprise. He goes, "Oh, Leslie," and that's all he can get out because she just goes, "Bam, bam, bam, you're dead."
And it was a very weird. I'm not going to say psychedelic, but
it was psychedelic.
Bunch of weird cuts.
Oh yeah,
filming the camera work, and it was like really, yeah, I guess you could say psychedelic in a way. It was
the 1970s. People like this, they're just trying to do Photoshop version 1 type of thing.
Yeah, that was a little weird, but yeah, she shoots him. I love her sitting in that chair. She gets him, and she immediately goes and gets whatever she gets, like a tarp or something to wrap him up with. And
now, this is not believable, and thank you, Lizzie. This is not believable to me because Lee Grant's fairly small, even though she's fit. I don't think she could handle him in such a manner that she'd be able to get him out to the car. When we see him wrapped up, he's wrapped up like a block of beef from the butcher, man. She's literally using butcher paper and twine, and she's got good,
Was that butcher? Was that paper? Wait, what was
butcher paper? Yeah,
it looked like it. Is that what it was?
It was.
Man, yeah, puts them in the trunk. Takes the keys and
my notes on this were good idea to hide the shooter in the chair. Bad idea for the slow motion cutscenes.
Yeah, that it didn't go. It was weird. It was very weird.
Also, too, they really were experimenting with camera angles here as well, because after the murder is over, the camera is hanging basically from the ceiling down, looking at the body, the fireplace, Lee Grant. And then what's great is we see it from the point of view of the murdered person looking up as Lee Grant covers him up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Alfred Hitchcock helped them film this part.
Oh, it seemed like it.
Yeah. No. There were some good. Yeah, you could tell they were tinkering with the filming process, but yeah, the cut psychedelic weird stuff. They just didn't go. Just didn't go. But as she was put them in the trunk and was getting ready to go, the camera goes over to the suitcase, and you're like, oh, she left evidence. But she comes back and gets it. They tricked us, Dave.
They did. But I was expecting it because Lee Grant's smart. And, we have this great scene where she grabs the briefcase and she looks around, and she really is stunning. When you look at her back in the 1970s, she's still alive today, which I'm surprised Ed Stewart hasn't mentioned. She's like 99 years old.
She's.
And what's bothersome in this film, later on, we realize that this guy, Paul Williams, is quote unquote a lot older than her.
Yeah.
But in real life, they're only about 8 years difference.
Oh, that's what's troublesome. Yeah. Listen,
yeah.
She's a little. How old would she be in this? What do you think? She's like 40s? 40?
I would imagine that's what she looked like.
Hold on. I'm looking this up.
She's 99 today. Well, so we got 25, 45 years. So she's mid-40s.
Okay, wait. When was she born? Hold on.
Oh, boy.
No, I need to know because
she's born in 1925.
25.
That's why she's 99. If she'll be 100 in October.
So she was like 40, 48 or something like that?
Yeah.
Holy Moses, Dave. She was sexy.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah. Listen, a 60-year-old can be sexy, right? I mean, it just depends on
how I am.
But and nevertheless, yeah, me and Dave, we always gush over some of these women from the 70s. It just is what it is. Albert Jacobs, what's going on? Good to see you. Oh my God, you got me going now. Bring me back to reality, Dave.
All right. The reality is she goes up above the cliff.
She always wore these like dresses with those little buttons that would pop off with a loop and a button. Like you could, anyways, go on. Dave.
All right. So we're on a cliff above the ocean, and we've got the body laid out, and she just gives it a kick, and it tumbles.
She rolls the body into the ocean off the cliff.
It's fantastic.
How did nobody not? I mean, whatever she wrapped it, if it was paper, it would come off.
And then she's got a whole list of things she's got to do, because the next thing she's got to do is go to the post office.
She's got holistic things to do?
She's got a whole list of things. Not holistic.
Oh, thus we move on.
Yes. And we're at 2242 for the first time we hear thus. She has to go to the post office, mail the letter, and then my favorite thing is because there's a car coming, she hides and she just does the perfect can't see me.
Get behind the bush real quick. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
boy.
Get behind the bush real quick so they don't see me. But wait, what? Oh boy, what? What's going on?
And then she gets back home.
Oh.
And she calls her friend. And she goes, oh, yes, I've been, forgetting our appointments. And call me tomorrow.
Pat.
11.
Didn't you say Pat?
I don't know.
I think her name was Pat.
That's fine.
She gets like 3 seconds.
Yeah, a little screen time. She's probably someone's sister.
Yeah, good for her.
And she's all like, just say one word, tennis.
And she does call up the next day and says,
she's prompt.
At noon, 12 p.m. sharp.
But are you going to risk your whole alibi on that one person going, please call?
Well, I thought that could be a possible clue for Columbo, nothing really took him to need to get to the phone records, but that could have been something that could have thrown her off. You know what I mean? Because when he's in the office the next day, well, we'll talk about it because next we're in court, right? So you all right? Animals coming through the window? Something's going on. Well, let me look at the chat. What's over there? Oh, hey, wait, what's going on, Dave, out there? The kids? They in the pool?
There's always kids.
It's a hot day in the pool.
Pool over here. I got a pool over here.
It's a hot day in the pool. $4.99 super sticker. Albert Jacobs. Thank you very much. A lemon character taking his sunglasses off, raising his arms. Yes, thank you. Appreciate that, Albert Jacobs. Always appreciate super chats. Yeah, they're very highly regarded. I don't know what that means. But so funny, dumb tennis. What? I don't know. Is Bo there? Is that Bo? Maybe.
Bo is actually over here up on her bed.
Okay, so
Yeah,
Bo's sleeping it off.
She.
Oh yeah, you got a lot going on
Hear that?
outside. The dog. They let the dog out too.
They let the dog out.
Oh man. Yeah, Dave doesn't have it too easy over there.
It's a jungle out here.
He's trying his best.
Hey, we can't all be down in the basement.
Okay, so
next home.
Now they're in court, Dave, and this is where we find out that good old Leslie. Oh, are we in court?
Yeah, we're in court.
Puzzled. Oh, you must be one of the jury.
Reading my notes.
So they're in court, and boy, I love the way Leslie just tears the other lawyer a new one with this insurance lawsuit going on, because what's his name? This gentleman named Crowell, played by Bill Walker,
who's got a long list of credits.
Yeah, he fell down. He fell down and hurt himself
after being at a bar.
Dave, I was driving down the street the other day. I've never seen this before. I guess because I don't know. Anyways, it's down the street, but it's one of those city streets where there's a bar almost, like you get them on every corner.
Sure.
But I don't usually see it. This is a route I take to my daughter's work. So I saw this guy come out of the bar, and he comes out sideways, and he falls. I don't mean to laugh. This was terrible.
Yeah.
He falls left onto his side, and immediately jumps up and starts going like this, and he's going, and he falls this way over to the wall, hits the building, and then he gets up again, and then he falls forward, and he does a tumble, and cars were pulling up to make sure he's all right and to get him inside, and I'm like going, okay, yeah, people are helping him, so I'm going, but my goodness. I'm like, how can the bartender even keep giving him drinks when he's this loaded?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I'm sorry. I had to bring that up because it was just, I never seen nothing like that before in all these years. Well, I take that back. I did have parents and I was younger, but anyways, okay, on we move. Okay. We're in court. Leslie setting all that up and waiting for things to happen. Is Riemann the other lawyer? Didn't you love the scene?
I love the scene, but I thought there's a little bit more setup where she's talking to her assistant lawyer, going like, have they found him yet? Where's this? Where's that? And by the same time, she's listening to what's going on in the court, and she's going, stop.
Multitasking,
yeah. She's a great multitasker. So it sets it up very early that she's very, very sharp. And it's going to be very tough to beat her.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It was cool how they did that, and how she was talking to the guy that came in to talk to her as the court's going on, and she goes, "I object, Your Honor," and then it goes right back to talk to. It was a trip. It really was a trip.
And at the very end, she basically, has convinced the jury that this guy was drunk. He fell down. The stairs were not lit, or they were lit properly enough.
Yeah.
But then they're all, okay, we'll do a plea bargain. We'll meet you in about 10 minutes. And she goes up to the people who own the building and going, hey, you have a death trap here. You better do A, B, and C to get this up to code. So she was really on the losing side, but she prevailed.
Oh yeah. And convinced them when they, we'll settle. But anyways, so that was all of that. That was the scene there, setting up that she's kind of a badass lawyer, really. I mean, what else are they, what were they doing with that scene? Anyways, then we're back at the home, right?
We're at a quick cut scene at the office because they're waiting for the other people to show up. The phone rings.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Tennis, right? And Leslie goes, oh my God, they said they've got my husband.
I almost went right over that. Yes, this is a very important scene because this is part of her alibi. Yeah.
Yeah. So then they're at the home, and all the police or FBI or whoever they are there.
Yeah. The higher ups, I would think it's the FBI because it's a kidnapping, and so they're involved because Columbo comes later and he's the city police or whatever lieutenant, and he seems to be interrupting as they make it. He seems to be a bumbling. I love when Columbo comes in. He's playing this part where he's bumbling around like they're all just like, what are you doing? He doesn't even know what he's doing. But
he's kind of like that drunk that you just talked about.
That's true. Yeah.
First of all, he lost his pin. So go ahead.
Yes. That's how we're introduced to Columbo in this one. He's at the door, and he lost his pen, and he can't find his pen, and it's not very important. It's just, it was engraved and
worthless, but it was just engraved, and I want it. She goes, "I'll give you a flashlight," and then
they never talk about it.
No, don't worry about that.
And they never talk about it again, though. And I'm like going, "Where's his pen? I want to know where his pen is." Hey, Kathy, good to see you, Kathy.
Lizzie says Fifi is talking to you and me.
Fifi is talking to us. Okay.
One of our cats.
Well, Fifi. Hello, Fifi. How are you doing? Yeah, her and her birds. All the way down there in Australia.
A cat.
What's that?
Is it a bird or a cat?
If it's talking, it's a bird. I think it's Lizzie's
No,
bird.
I think it's a cat because cats can talk as well.
Lizzie, it's your bird, right? I know she's got birds. She's down in Australia. She's got a bird.
Maybe
I know that.
Koala.
Koalas don't listen. They sleep anyway
during the day, but
and they're the ones that give you menthol eucalyptus.
Yeah, they can go up and get the eucalyptus leaves for you.
Yeah, when you got colds,
Connie says Fifi is a bird. You're right, Dino.
Well, yeah, we did a hangout.
She says she's a parrot.
Yes, there you go. Yeah, and I knew that. Anyways, okay, so the police are, there. Oh, I love the way they have everything set up. I love how Columbo keeps going to all of the agents at the table.
One by one.
Yes. Asking them like questions and stuff. And they keep answering, but they're just like looking up at him like, who's this? What is this? That's Lieutenant Columbo and he's asking, little questions.
Yeah. And it's like he was sent there to tell them they found the car, but they already got the phone call that they found the car.
Right. And the ransom letter has shown up. So we got the car, the ransom letter has shown up, and the ransom letter is showing them a map, which is interesting for the drop off.
Yes.
And Columbo asks about that. What is this? What is this? And it's an aerial view, and that's when we find out that Leslie can fly.
Yeah, and who else would have known that, right? Exactly. So I mean, it's like who would normally fly? Not me, right? And
she's a very well-to-do woman. What word am I looking for? Like she's smart. She's smart. She's beautiful. She can fly a plane.
Yeah, she can do anything she wants.
Yeah, I'll stop there. Okay.
All right.
So keep going, please. I
love also when they try to tap the phone and try to figure out like where the phone call's coming from. And they have this huge, gigantic machine, and they're using screwdrivers and stuff like that with all the wiring and everything. And the guy's all, it's not going to work because, kidnappers are really smart and they know that we have to have them on the line for 30 seconds and all that. So.
Oh, man, it's so
talented. She is a talented.
Who is?
Woman. Lee Grand.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. But this is where one of my favorite
things.
William
Blowers.
Columbo goes to the powder room. He goes, do you have a bathroom? And she goes, yes.
Well, he's sneaking around everywhere. He's going in the office, and she's following him and going, is there anything I could get you or help you with? And she's not very upset either.
No, and I don't like her here because she is playing, oh, all I want is my husband back. Which you immediately go, BS. It's just such a thing. And then she goes, can I make you some tea? And then she's all, oh, I'm going to make everyone dinner, type of thing. And it's just like, everyone's like eating out of her hands because she's all like, look how she's holding up in this type of situation, and
well, that's what I love about this scene with Columbo. Like, he's questioning everything, like, and they're not picking up on it. Like, why is she so calm? Why is she not asking this or asking that? Especially when the call comes in, we'll talk about that. But even when she says, I'm making dinner, he's like, where's your help? You got help here, right? She goes, yeah, well, they're on vacation for a week. And he goes, and you're willing to take it and make us a dinner, a meal, he knows, you know what I mean? Columbo. Yeah. I knew too, because I know what these movies are about. But
definitely.
Did you know that she did it at the beginning?
I knew it as soon as she fired the gun.
I was gonna go there. Okay, go on. He's going to the powder room.
He's going to go to the powder room, and he comes back, and he's all, I almost didn't want to touch the soaps. He goes, because they're like individual soaps, and if you use one of them and you put it back, the other soaps are going to get wet. They're going to stick together. How do you solve this? And she just looks.
It's a problem. Yeah. That is what he came down and told her. Yeah, it's that kind of stuff in Columbo that just makes you laugh. It makes you love it. I thought that was fantastic.
She's going to go, hey, I'm going to fix dinner. He goes, oh, you need me to peel some potatoes?
Yeah. Like, everybody else around him thinks he's dumb, and he plays that part because inside he knows what he's doing, and he's looking for clues. He's looking for little ins and outs on what you did wrong and this and that. And he's brilliant that way. And he's good at acting. I don't know.
He is.
Yeah. Okay.
Emmy Award winning.
Yes.
And we should then we get the phone call, and so we have a cut scene to her office where the machine is playing the recorded message, and then she kind of loses it, going, I want my husband back. And she doesn't ask like how he is. She's all, where are you? Where do they want the money? Things like that.
Yeah. Well, that's what Columbo said. He's just like, she didn't ask like, where's his body or where is he, or if he's okay. That first phone call, he's like, she didn't even ask if he's okay. Wouldn't that be the first thing you would ask your husband if you were upset? But yeah, it's crazy.
So then next day we're in the office in the home, and this guy is like, okay, here's $300,000. The bank has noted all the serial numbers and everything.
They're all marked bills. Yes, they know all the serial numbers.
Yep.
Yes.
Like that really matters. And
all right.
So then he's all, by the way, we had to sell all your stocks, all your bonds, to get this. You're, basically don't have any money other than this.
Other than $300,000, yeah, living in that mansion. But anyways,
and he's all, we've got a sack for you to put this in. And she goes, oh no.
I got my own bag.
Got my own bag I'm going to use. And then they're going to put in a.
It's an ugly white bowling looking bag.
It is a bowling bag. Yeah.
Is it? Yeah, it's an ugly white one. I don't know.
Yeah.
I need a black bag.
Rocco says, yeah. Exactly.
Rocco says, I need a black bag, say? Yeah, I can hide in the shadows, say? Rocky says, yeah.
Well, you're not going to see it at night, see? Because it's being dropped by a helicopter.
Yeah. It flies through the sky. You can't see it, say? Rocky says, yeah, disappear quickly, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways.
So we drive out to the airport, and Lee Grant says, excuse me, I'm going to get changed.
Dave. No, I'm looking at my notes. We'll talk. Wait, where are you at? We're going back to
we're at the airport. We're going to be going up in the helicopter next.
Okay. Kolchak is always on my mind and so on my mind. Instead of writing Columbo for my notes here, I put Kolchak stays back at the airport. What the heck is wrong? Thanks for introducing me to Kolchak, Dave.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Kolchak's
Only took you 6 years.
I know, right? Oh my God. So Columbo stays back at the airport after all the cops come and they're, she's going there and she's going to fly and stuff.
Yeah, but she gets changed and we see.
I'm going a little bit sooner. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, we're in the locker. We see that she's already got a white bag that matches the other one. So we know she's going to do a switcheroo. She leaves the $300,000 in her locker and she takes the other one with her up in the airplane. She jumps into an airplane. Police jump into a helicopter. Yeah. It looks like a handmade helicopter. Because I'm like, if that's a police helicopter today,
helicopter model kit. Yeah.
It was I'm not getting in that.
Listen, the fact that she had to, she's that ritzy, I guess that's the way it was with when you got, money, but she didn't seem to have that much money. But to fly her plane, she needed to change into my flying suit.
And I'm like, why not just wear the flying suit to the airport? Hello.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, it's all too good. And she jumps in a plane. They're in the cops are following her everywhere. They got it all. Drop. Well, she takes a second bag that's empty.
Yeah.
And she puts a tracker in it.
Right.
And the tracker is this gigantic box with a red blinking light on it going boop, boop.
Well, it's for the thieves so they can get the money.
Yeah. And she opens up the little window next to like it's a VW wagon. I open up this window in my plane. I'm going to throw the money out this way. It'll hit its target. So she's even good at that. She's going to throw the bag out the little window, and it's going to hit the target where the ransom.
You would think a policeman would have gone with her in the plane.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
To say, okay, we're right over the spot. But no, she's good enough to do it by herself.
Yeah, no, she's one heck of a dame. Yeah.
She's a rock.
Wait, what? Well, she is a killer, so we can call her that. That's fine. And thank you, Connie. Yes, please hit that thumbs up button, you guys, coming into the stream. If you dig it, please and thank you. Really appreciate it. So yeah, she drops that, and then she turns back. The drop's been made. Helicopter lands, and they go over to the bag, and it's on the ground, and it's unzipped, and it's opened, and there's nothing in it. The money's missing.
Right. Allegedly.
And there's a few things going on here, but go ahead, Dave.
I love when, it's like almost, I just couldn't understand it. Like, okay, there's the bag, we're landing, and they're right on top of it as far as the police goes. And then the other police guys from the cars, they show up and they're all, we don't know how we did it so quick. Must have been right there when the bag fell, took the money. And there's a road over here. We weren't guarding that. And he probably
ran through. Yeah. But wasn't that bag that she threw down? Didn't it have the tracker in it?
Yes.
What happened to the tracker?
I don't know.
Because it was
we see the tracker later in the film.
I know. That's a little mistake, I think, on their part. Because I didn't get that. But anyways. So then what? The police are there back at the airport with Leslie. They're getting ready to leave and go in the, they all get in the vehicles and stuff like that. And, Columbo also does not like heights, and he hated that helicopter ride, and that was funny. Him trying to
something's wrong with the engine. Just relax.
Just relax. No, there's something wrong with it. I know it. We're gonna die. Slap. Oh, jeez. But they're back at the airport. Everybody's leaving, and Columbo says, go ahead. I'm gonna hang around here and catch up on my thoughts and figure all this out and stuff like that. And he sneaks in the locker room there, and he picks her lock and goes through her locker. He doesn't find anything, though, I don't think.
Just perfume.
Yeah. Yes, there was a bottle of perfume on the very top. I guess right before she flies, she goes,
I guess.
Yeah. For all the men she's taken up to fly.
Well, she will take Columbo up shortly. But then we go back to the Williams home. And she goes into like a secret panel in the back of the closet. There's a safe there, and she puts the money in the safe, closes it, comes out of this closet, which is bigger than like my home. And then there's kind of a cool jump
I don't think it's that big.
It's pretty big. And then there's a kind of a cool jump scene.
So the kitchen is to your left, right?
My
5 feet to your left.
It's that way.
And 4 feet to the front.
And upstairs.
And your bed is 3 feet to the left.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. Very small house.
Very small.
Yeah. Okay.
Tiny.
You're living in somebody's garage, aren't you?
Of course.
Dave's got a mansion in Beverly Hills.
This is the only corner you're ever going to see.
He's fooling us all. He's got a big winding staircase that goes up to, anyways, okay, to the library. That's why it's hard to get a hold of him. Anyways.
What does Connie say?
Dave and Dino stream good. No, Dave and Dino stream bad. Frankenstein probably. Okay. Yeah. Harry Scott put the Frankenstein little avatar up there. So emoji.
That's it.
I was going to say this, Dave, about the money.
Tell me.
It's she knows they got the serial numbers and all that stuff and smart, but yet she hides it anyways. As I hit my microphone, so would it show up anywhere if
I don't know what she's going to do with the money.
Okay. Well, anyways, we can move on from that, but they are marked or whatever. And you know, they're tracking the serial numbers. So, but I guess if he's found murdered and there's no charges and it's unsolved, then they're not really looking for those bills that are marked. I wouldn't think so. Then she can use the money. I don't know. I thought something to think about. Anyways, go on, Dave. What do you got for me?
Well,
bring it on. What's that? A Columbo book in the back of you?
It's my Columbo DVD.
Oh, that's right. It looks like a book. It's
yeah.
What's that wooden plaque say above you? Dave? Is that David W.C.? What is L. David W.C.? Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for showing me that. You make that as a kid in woodshop?
No, my buddy of mine made that for me.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
That's nice. Okay, yeah. Okay, anyways, moving on. Margaret, their daughter is at home now.
Margaret. And Margaret is this kind of homely girl. She's
probably,
I don't know if she's in high school still or early college, but she just flew in from Zurich, Switzerland, and she's worried because her dad's not there. And it's obvious from the beginning that they don't like one another. It's the stepmom and everything. And even the mom says, like, what are you doing here? And she's all like, my dad's been kidnapped. Or would I be?
Yeah. She does. She hates her stepmother. Yeah.
Oh, we'll see that too coming up. Oh my gosh, my favorite scene.
Okay.
Then we do a cut scene.
Because I like how she you can tell she hates Leslie. Margaret hates her stepmother, but Leslie is trying to prove to her I'm hurt too. I'm sad and I'm hurt. I'm so worried. I hope he's still alive and stuff. At this point, they hope that he's still alive, and they do hug. And we pause a moment, and then we move on.
Yes, we do.
Yeah. Next
Court scene.
Yes.
And we have the FBI coming into court. She's just about to do some litigation, and he's.
Oh, are we at court now?
Yeah, I think we are.
Oh no! There's a thing. Okay, Margaret is still there though. And she ends up going to the kitchen and watching TV. And Leslie comes down stairs, right? Yeah, right before she leaves.
Yeah.
And she goes, "What are you doing up late night? You got the an early late night, movie on." And she's watching Double Indemnity
She is.
with Fred McMurray. Yes, a classic noir.
Where the wife kills the husband.
Yes, well, that's why they were playing it. I mean, but it's so cool. And she turns it off, and they're arguing back and forth, kind of. And when Leslie leaves, she turns the TV back on, and she's got this grin, and she's watching it because, deep down inside, I think she already knows. You probably killed my father. You don't like him. You don't care for him. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I thought that was a nice touch.
Yeah, J. O. B. And Margaret. Yeah, no. Dave said, and Margaret. I said, and Margaret.
Okay.
Anyways, okay. So, okay, now we're at the courtroom again, Dave. Go ahead.
All right. Now we're in the court. The FBI shows up.
Oh, that was a pivotal scene, right? I mean,
yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. And so right at this point, the FBI, she goes, just tell me what's going on. Yeah, we found your husband and he's dead. And
I like this scene too. Yeah, no, she makes a big to do because he's like, yeah, do you want to come out here so I can tell you? Do you want to come out? No, tell me now. I want to know now. And because in her head, she's like, I'm going to cause a scene. I want people to see me act this way. And I love the fake faint, Dave.
Well, that big jacket too was probably hot.
Oh, you think maybe, or it was too heavy and it threw her
Very
back?
heavy. That was
it threw her back, maybe, yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
Because the humidity was up, and it that kind of fur kind of like gets extra,
And if the AC was out in the courtroom.
Yeah, we don't.
Yeah, that was bad. But she passes out, or at least fakes a pass out.
Yeah, she goes, "Oh no, my husband! Oh, catch me!"
And Columbo's just there.
he's like, good act. Listen, I mean, it's so typical, and yeah, and he knew right away because I think the next moment, don't they confront each other, or is that a little bit later?
I think it's a little bit later.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay, go on, Dave. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
You didn't interrupt me. You never interrupt me.
Okay.
But later on, we immediately go back to the Williams estate, and she's getting all these condolences from people and everything. And we're here to help you if you need. And the doctor's there, and he gave Margaret an injection and things like that. And
no, real quick, he did point out, Columbo, that when she fainted and what's his name told her that he's dead, she didn't ask where the body was, and that's something a wife would do right away. So anyways, stuff I wrote down, Dave, that's can make me and you solve this case at the end.
I'm looking forward to it. We always solve Columbo's.
We do, because we're smart. I mean, we were both lawyers at one point, so I mean, as long as people understand that.
Yeah.
Then Dave became a professor and married Marianne.
Well, you got never mind.
She was cold as ice, I know. Yes, I know. Okay.
All right, cool.
I said hi, Black Roses, right? Yeah. Hi. Hey. What's going on? Okay, Dave. Back to it.
All right. So, we're getting all these condolences. Margaret got a shot to put her to sleep, and Leslie got some sleeping pills, and the doctor leaves and everything. And Leslie does this kind of almost, dancing around the chairs. And
yes,
I thought it was actually, when I watched it, I thought
like
it was
a crazy woman.
It was, but I thought it was so beautiful the way she's all ha ha ha.
But you left out the coolest part of it too, where right before she starts to do the dance, those pills that they gave her, she goes over, she saunters over to
saunters is a good word. Yeah.
She saunters over to the fireplace with the bottle of pills, and she goes, "I will not need these because I'm the killer," and throws it in the fireplace.
She does.
She could have got $50 a piece.
Going into this fireplace.
Oh no, I'm joking.
We got bills, we got letters, we got pills. I don't want to clean that out. It's toxic waste.
I know. I was in my mind, Dave. I was going, okay, if she threw all those pills in there, is it going to burn and like go up, and then she's going to overdose on smelling this stuff? It shows you the type of person I am, people. I would throw it in there and go, oh my God, I got to get out of the house.
Totally. Let's open some windows.
Hurry up. But like you said, she does this weird, like.
It was a very Betty Davis type acting job there.
Yes, like Mommy Dearest.
Yes, and she was moving around all the furniture and everything like that. And then we pan up, and there's Margaret. And Margaret's like, you know, in that school marm, which, by the way, Margaret's a very attractive girl. If you've did you IMDb her and look at some of the images from her? Holy moly.
Yes, I did.
She is one of the, if you go to some of the Columbo sites, she's one of the top 5 Columbo babes that we see in the films.
Really?
Yes. And unfortunately, she does die of cancer very young, right around the age of 51, 52. So very sad. She had about 20 acting credits to her name.
Yeah. I saw that there wasn't a whole lot. So
yeah,
that's sad.
It is. But from there, we go to one of my favorite scenes, which is the cemetery scene, the funeral scene. And so, you know, you've got the priest who's like, you know, giving the funeral services, and Lee Grant, again, looking beautiful, draped in black. She looked like Jackie Onassis, or as we say in Seinfeld, Onassis.
Onassis. Jacqueline Onassis. Yeah, no, they're giving a nice service for Mr. Williams, even though there's no body, you know.
Yeah. And Tao Flaudermouse.
Hey, Tao Flaudermouse.
She has the librarian look. That is exactly how she looks.
Yes, she does have because she's got the glasses, typical straight hair that you would see in the 70s, sweater, skirt. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm describing something.
So, you know, the priest finishes the ceremony, comes over to her, gives her condolences.
Oh, then the best part comes up.
And it's Leslie and Margaret. They start getting into it, and Margaret, you wanted this to happen, and she like pulls back, and you hear a slap, and I mean, it was full on connection. I'm surprised it didn't knock her out. It was that good of a slap.
Oh yeah, she slapped her good, and Columbo's off to the side. He sees it all. He goes, interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's some friction there between Margaret and Leslie, the mother and the daughter and the stepmother.
And so then later on, you know, Margaret's kind of run away a little bit, and she's within all the tombstones and everything. And Columbo finds her and says, you know, if you need anything, you know, here's my card, please call, blah, blah, blah. And then one of the other lawyers in the office goes, hey, Margaret, come on, we're waiting for you. Let's go. You know, drags her away. I will say on IMDb, though, they say that this takes place at Hollywood Forever Cemetery. That is not Hollywood Forever Cemetery.
Really? Okay.
That is a mistake.
Dave knows his cemeteries.
Yeah, I've been to Hollywood Forever, and that's a very, very famous one out here. Okay. A lot of movie stars that are buried there, but it does not have the ornate tombstones or that amount of land for that cemetery.
Is this where we have the talk between Margaret and Leslie too?
We do have another talk between Margaret and Leslie where she says that we're broke.
Yeah, basically tells her, listen, well, because first of all, she wanted her to leave. She's like, there's no need to stay here. Just go back to Paris, where I guess she's
Switzerland.
Switzerland, was it?
Well, I think she goes, just get out. She goes, well, the school's not open yet. Well, then go visit your friends in Paris, you know, so.
Okay. Yeah.
Paris
the school's not open for a month yet. And she wants her to just leave, but then she's going to play hardball then. And she's like, listen, we don't, you know, I used all that money for, you know, the ransom.
Yeah.
and you're not going to be able to use all this money then to pay for your friends and everything else. So, because she gets a little allowance and all of that stuff too, and school paid for and all that.
And then she says her trust fund's gone, blah, blah, blah.
Tells her to get a job, make some money. It could be useful.
She goes, well, you should get a job, may come in handy. And she also has that great thing going up. Yeah, we're not totally broke. My, firm brings in enough money to keep us off the streets of Beverly Hills.
Wait, we got some sacrilegious stuff going on in the
chat. Is that from John Victor? Is that what you're going to bring up?
John Victor, what are you talking about?
I will say this. I agree with John Victor. Years ago, when I first started watching Columbo's, I did not care for this episode, nor did I care for Lee Grant, but now I find it somewhat addicting.
Well, listen, both of the women are attractive, but again, I talked to Dave, and hello, John Victor. Good to see you. Hi, I talked about this with Dave at the beginning, where I was a little disassociated with this second movie of Columbo because of, I guess, just how long it was. It just, there was too many, it just didn't feel like a 100% like a Columbo movie.
Yeah, there was a lot of dialogue that didn't need to be there.
Yeah. And real quick, Sweet Indigo, member for 22 months at level 1. Thank you very much. Thank you, Dino and Dave. You make me laugh so hard. I appreciate that. We try.
And
no, we don't try. We're just ourselves, basically. And Raj says, Dino, we have 100 viewers and 60 likes. I think we need more likes. Everybody hit that thumbs up button.
And thank you to all the viewers. I'm glad you're here enjoying the show.
Yes, thank you, everybody who's here. Please hit that thumbs up. We are at the top of the hour, Dave. Oh, my God. This is going by quick as the dog barks next to Dave's house.
God. Oh, my God.
We need to get Dave an air conditioner.
We need to give Dave a basement is what we need.
Right? Okay, so, Dave, 9 o'clock, top of the hour. Let's let you guys know what we got coming up. Again, hit that thumbs up button. Let's get the likes up, please. And comment after the stream is over. I would appreciate that. Dave, what do we got coming up next week and the weeks prior?
Dave, take it away. Yes. Next week, we have Art Bell, and it is going to be a Men in Black episode. So I'm looking forward to that very much.
Can't wait.
After that, we've got an episode of the Wild Wild West because I'm jonesing for a Wild Wild West episode.
It's been a while since we've done a Wild Wild West too, I think.
It has been, and this is the night of the Red-Eyed Madman. And by the way, Paul Williams, he was on an episode of the Wild Wild West we already covered.
Okay. Yeah. You might have to holler out that window at that dog.
I may have to do more than that.
Sick bow on the dog. I don't know.
Oh my gosh. And Bo could probably whip that dog too.
Oh my God.
It's just one of those little.
It's a yapper. Oh my gosh.
It is.
Oh.
Scooby-Doo, the week after that. So August 3rd.
The podcast.
Episodes 9 and 10. I'm looking forward to that.
Ooh, the second one's a circus mayhem. Bedlam and what is it? Bedlam
at the big top?
Yes, but I think that's it. Yeah. Can't wait.
August 10th, Kolchak the Night Stalker. You and I are going to discuss.
Oh, yes. I can't wait.
And then we're back to Night Gallery.
Sounds like a great lineup, right?
Yeah.
You like that thumbnail for Circle of Fear? A lot of thumbs up on that one.
The Concrete Captain?
Yes.
I haven't seen that one yet.
Oh, yeah. We've got, I forget how many thumbs up on that already. I get thumbnails will stick out good enough. Yeah.
Raj, we do have a Halloween episode coming up. It'll be the month after.
Oh, listen, the month of October.
We're going to do a Ghost to Ghost in September. And then we haven't discussed October yet, but there will most likely be
some classic horror stuff. Yeah. Okay, so there you go. That's what we got coming up. And we are right back at it. And we left off where? Carlson.
We will. Yes. Cemetery. Back home. We're broke. Leslie's office where she ends up talking to Columbo and she takes him flying.
Yeah, this is now where Columbo comes to the office to see. He set up an appointment to see Leslie, and this is funny too because he comes there and he really doesn't know what he's there for, but he does, but he doesn't, because he doesn't ask any relevant questions really.
No, and this was a big space filler from the time where, with these totally 1970s, where, he first comes into the office, and you're right. This is a beautiful, stunning office from the decor to the plans. And
it's so 70. Listen, I mean, colors, the wall, everything. Yeah. But
for me, it was the rug.
Well, there's some interesting, like even the chair. There was a leather chair in the corner that looked good. The couch itself looked so comfortable. There are a lot of good things I liked about this. That's for sure. Thank you, JLR. But yeah, he does come in and he does notice that phone machine.
He does,
and he's like, "What is this?" And
but before that, he gets into the entryway and. He goes, "Oh, you must be the secretary to this guy." And he's all, "No, I'm secretary called out sick. I'm, one of the other lawyers." He goes, "I don't see how you can do it." He goes, "How I can do what? Work for a woman."
Oh yeah, that's what he said. Yes.
And the guy's all, "She's one of the best trial lawyers ever," and it cracked me up.
Yeah, it's the only reason I'm here. He did try to defend himself, Yeah, I only do this because the secretary's gone and she's best trial lawyer.
Yeah, so there was a lot of gender role, reversal type of things there going on, but he does get to see the answering machine or phone call machine, and that's when we start to
it's an auto call, which it's a weird thing. I still really don't understand it, Dave. Where you put this punch card in the slot and it auto calls people, but it's connected to a real recorder that I guess once you put the punch card in, it calls or something. I don't know, but wouldn't you just pick up the phone and call? It's very confusing. I'm confused, Dave.
It is confusing, yes.
But yeah, nevertheless.
and Connie, we'll do what's in Dave's desk next week.
Oh yeah, we forgot about those. Yeah,
it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, we got to get through this episode. I can't believe it's already 9:08. Jeez, whoo, it's a long movie. Okay, let's get through it.
Luckily, it's 6:08 here on the West Coast.
Yeah. Okay, so where are we at? What's going on here?
Leslie goes, let's go flying. You want to clear my head?
Oh, questions her about the bag.
Okay.
Also questions her about the shot. He does mention about
the angle of the bullet.
The angle is it's a 45-degree angle, which means the killer was sitting down when he came in. So, and he said the other thing is it's strange because the killer used a .22 caliber, and it's not something they would usually use. You would use that if you didn't really want things messy. And
the bullet on a .22 is not going to go through the body.
Right. So thus there's not a like blood splatter and all this other stuff. He's basically dies internally bleeding really quick, and that's what happened. So he threw all those questions at her. Yeah. And then now we're going to the airport so he could go for a fly. You afraid of heights? Takes her on anyway. So
and this is one of those wonderful Hollywood behind the scene film sets where it's like, where they're in a car or they're in a boat. It's just them sitting next to one another, which I think you and I should do sometime as well with all the video going on around us. And they're like sitting and talking and everything. And then, we see the plane doing acrobatics and she's doing loops and she's turning into spirals and she's diving and everything like that.
Yeah.
And there's this one great part where she gives him the controls. And they're sitting there and
she pulls the wheel off.
Well, yeah.
Hands it to him.
Hands it to him.
And he puts it in the little, go ahead.
Yeah. And they're flying and she's all, that's a mountain up there. And he's all, what do I do? She goes, pull up, we're fine. And I just thought it was
I
great.
was like, you're fine. When you were seeing the footage, it looked like he missed the mountain by like feet, and you're like,
yeah.
oh my God, how's she taking a chance like that?
Totally.
I love when she gets the will back and he goes, basically, I'm not saying nothing. Give me some time.
Yeah. Can we not talk for a while?
Yeah. Can we not talk for a while? That was so funny. Oh man. So good.
Then they start talking about who doesn't like your husband. She goes, no one didn't like my husband. Everyone loved him. He was, president of the bar association. He was great. And then when they land, Columbo starts talking about his cousin, Paul.
Ralph.
There it is.
Yeah. Ralph was the guy who knew everybody. He was perfect. He was basically perfect,
Yeah. But then he goes, Ralph was a bore.
Yeah.
And, like, really, that's going to be the.
Well, I like the end scene there where he goes, he was because he's like, I was never like him. I always kind of want to be him, whatever. But he goes, and then the scene is at the end there. He goes, I really wanted to murder him.
Yeah.
And then it like cuts kind of with showing his face and her face for like, it seemed like an eternity, like 5 seconds, and then we're at Barney's Beanery.
Yeah.
I love this.
Barney's Beanery. And we got this
Barney's
guy.
Beanery. So I would think he makes beans and
it's a chili place.
It's a chili place.
Yeah.
Barney's Beanery. And Columbo's just playing pool in there, Dave.
And it's a real place.
Man,
it's here in LA on the west side of Hollywood.
Man, places like that, Barney's Beanery, that looks so cozy. I mean,
yeah. I mean, you can play pool and everything like that. And then you go up and you get some chili. And this is going to be in several episodes as well. So this isn't the only time we get to hang out with Bert and things like that. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bert was the character. Yeah.
And they talk like, what do you want? I want the chili. All right. Good choice.
Well, because he hands him the menu, and he's like, I don't know why you use the menu, but I think we know that every time you're going to use the chili. Hands it back, and he goes, what are you going to have? He goes, the chili. So that was kind of funny.
And then he yells back to the kitchen, it's for the lieutenant. Make it special.
Make it special. Yeah. Can you imagine the other people listening to that? They're like, wait, what's that mean?
Totally. But in comes
Paco. There's a rubber band in my chili. Yeah, we know who's cooking tonight.
But then we've got Margaret coming in.
My soup come with a ring
through the screen door. And she sits down. She's all, you remember me? And he goes, oh, yeah, Margaret, how are you? Blah, blah, blah. Try the chili. It's great.
Hey, Karma Ray. Justin. Oh, Justin. Hey, Justin. What's going on? Good to see you.
Yeah. And then they start talking about, I think my stepmom killed my dad. My dad came to see me in Switzerland right before this. And he said, she said, excuse me. The father said that
she said, that's all I ever hear.
That Leslie wanted to share the house, that he would turn over the business to her. They would live together, but they would live separate lives.
Yeah.
And she goes, he started to cry. And, what a fool he had been, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And so Columbo's like, I don't see how your stepmom could have done it. But maybe because the keys are missing. And, when the car was found with the chair moved up, and your dad, he was a tall guy and all this, and he would have had the chair back. So there may be some things going on there.
Yeah, it was basically telling her, there's nothing we really can do. This is all hearsay, without evidence. So, we need to find something. So I think next we go back to the house. And
we do. And Margaret is calling the lieutenant, and she's all, come on over. I'm going to leave the door unlocked. And Margaret
is the stepdaughter. Yeah.
Right. And so Columbo comes in, and Leslie is kind of like laid out on the couch. She's asleep, and she wakes up startled, like, how did you get in here? He goes, well, Margaret called me. She, had something to say. And Margaret comes up and she goes, look, I got keys. You killed my dad. You were the one who did this. And like Leslie's going, you're insane. You're nuts, and
Columbo scolded her.
Oh, Columbo scolds her because he goes, the house is being watched. He goes, you had a locksmith up here. These are all copies. These are not your father's keys.
Yeah.
And Margaret loses it. She's all like, she did it. And he goes, I don't know that. She goes, yes, you do. And she pulls back to slap Columbo. And Columbo grabs her, and says, young lady, don't you ever do that again. And she breaks free from his grasp and runs upstairs, closes her door. And one of the great things about this particular scene is Leslie, she's all like, I can't believe she would do that. And he goes, well, you know what? He goes, I can't have you arrested on the wrong evidence.
Right. Yeah.
And I thought that was such a great quote because it just totally freezes Lee Grant. Like, oh, crap. Yeah. He thinks, or he at least considers me a suspect.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it was really cool. Then we're back at her office, Leslie's office, where Columbo comes in again. And it's funny because she's in the office and she gets a phone call and it's Columbo. And as she's listening to Columbo on the phone, he opens up the door and he goes, I got myself one of those phones. He's like, man, the dude, he's got it all down, man. But she's like going, oh, okay, interesting. So yeah, I thought that was cool.
And well, what also he goes, after the phone gag, he goes, by the way, I just want to let you know I'm off the case, Yeah. And he goes, I'm not gonna be around anymore. So I just wanted to tell you goodbye. That's the exact same thing he does in the first pilot, where he goes, someone made some calls. I got kicked off. There's a younger guy working on this case. I'm going to go over here. Mm-hmm. And so it's just kind of repeated from that.
Oh yeah.
And now we've got,
we're coming towards the end where,
but just before the end, Leslie comes home.
Yes, she does.
Kind of the same way that the husband, Paul, did. And all of a sudden we've got Margaret with a gun and she shoots Leslie.
But she doesn't shoot Leslie because it's a blank.
It is. But Leslie freaks out. She's all like, holy crap, and it's like, she's all, just put the gun down, and she goes, this is how you shot my dad. He came home. And she basically lays out exactly how she murdered him.
Yeah.
And then she realizes, okay, all the bullets in the gun are blanks. She runs after.
She runs upstairs. She runs and she hides.
Yes.
And it's like a chase scene where Leslie's coming after her going, listen, Margaret, where are you? Where are you? She opens up these doors and down drops the tracker, that little box with the bloop, bloop, bloop to track the money. And I'm like going, first of all, I'm like, how the hell did that get there? I don't understand.
Yeah. And then Leslie,
she rigged it up so that it would fall.
Then Leslie pulls it down. And I'm like, how do you know that's not going to pull down whatever it was attached to?
Yeah.
And she runs into the bathroom and there's on the mirror in the cutout letters from one old bag to another. Where do you think I'm hiding?
And she's in the closet. The closet, but she didn't find the money, which is hidden in a panel in the closet.
Right.
But
they
kind of
back.
Yeah. But oh my gosh. But they kind of start this like, idea to share the money. You're kind of blackmailing me now. You kind of want to negotiate with me on the money.
Yeah, because she thinks that, Leslie's going to take off with the house, she's going to get the money for the house, things like that. Yeah. And she goes, I just want what's coming to me. I want half. And she goes, I want, X amount of money and everything like that.
That's where she says she'll be fine with $35,000 for the next 5 months.
Yeah.
And that's when I'm going, seriously? You got the house there, and who gets the house? I guess Leslie does. I don't know.
Yeah. So Leslie's all fine as long as you're on a plane tomorrow. And all of a sudden Margaret gets this big old shit-eating grin. I got a lot of packing to do.
So good.
And she just, goes and packs. In the next scene, we're at LAX.
Well, because she says, okay, the deal's done if you leave tomorrow and you get on a plane. And that's exactly what they're going to do. Yeah. And got a briefcase there. She's sending her off. She says, I'll have somebody there to set up your account at a bank when you land. And Margaret goes off. Leslie turns back and she sees Columbo standing there.
Now, hold on, because this is the first time you've seen this episode, right?
Yes.
So you did not see the guy following Margaret when she went down the ramp, did you?
No, I guess I didn't.
All right. So right after the ticket booth and the great conversation, goodbye, Leslie. Goodbye, Margaret. And so then Margaret goes down the ramp and there's this guy just waiting and he's got a big box. And as soon as
I did notice that.
As soon as Margaret passes him, he turns and follows Margaret because he's one of the undercover police officers. And so when you see that money returned, it's in the big box, and then the suitcase is inside that. So it's all set up through Columbo. So that's point one. And then, as you were just saying, she turns and sees Columbo just waiting there, which for me, I would run at that point because I know Columbo's not.
Yeah, what a coincidence that Columbo's there. And she actually does just offer him a drink and says, let me buy you a drink because, everything's fine now. You know what I mean? But literally, Columbo and Margaret kind of set all of this up.
Right.
We're going to find out. So they go into the I don't even know what you'd call it, the little tavern there where they're going to get drinks.
It's a little bar at the airport, Yeah. So he goes, what would you like? She goes, I'll take a sherry. What would you like, Columbo?
Root beer.
I'll take a root beer.
I love that. I wonder what kind of root beer it was.
I don't know, but I mean, for $1.10 at the end of the day, that's not a bad deal.
No, but he didn't have money and he had to sign for it. Yeah, I got no money, but yet he had a briefcase of like $300,000 there.
And a good-looking waitress, by the way.
Yeah.
And so they're talking back and forth. I thought it was great dialogue. And there's a point where he goes, I was thinking I'm never going to get her. He goes, but then he goes, I thought about it. And he goes, you think people are just like you. And you're greedy, and it takes a lot of money to forget about a murder. And not everyone's like you, and this and that. He goes, we set you up. And in comes the undercover police guy. He's got the box. He opens up the box, opens up the briefcase. There's the money, and you just see her go, oh, and it's just a big sigh. Like, he goes, you have no conscience.
Well, yeah, and they get up and take her away. But the thing I was thinking was, I'm like, she's one of the best trial lawyers around. You think she would have just, listen, I know for movies' sake and for TV's sake, this is the way you end. But yeah, so I don't even know why I'm bringing it up. But she could have said, you don't got nothing on me. She's a trial lawyer. Go away strong, saying, I'll get off this,
Yeah.
I thought that would have been
even like when it was so funny when he's all, we're going to take you downtown. And one of the undercover police officers that's standing behind her puts his hand on her shoulder and she just kind of goes, like, don't touch me. I'm going to walk, out, as an adult type of thing.
Yeah, there's going to be a hanging and I'm going to walk to the gallows.
And so, then we have the waitress coming back. That'll be $1.10. And he doesn't have any money. He goes, can I sign for this? I'm a police officer. And she's all, yeah, you can sign for it. And he doesn't have a pencil. Same thing happened at the end of the first pilot where the guy has to go, here's a pencil. I thought that was funny. But my favorite part is the music that plays at the very end. Because it's just, if you rewatch that very end, and it's also going to be in 2 or 3 other episodes. In fact, the Leonard Nimoy episode, it's in that where we see Columbo's car coming up the road to the doctor's house. But it's like, it's just this almost circusy type of music, but it goes all the way through the credits, and it's just one of my favorite tunes. So
okay, well, I guess I shut it off a little too quick. I usually watch them right before we do our stream, so I might have cut that off. I'll have to go back and look at that. Yeah. It's I don't think is it anywhere streaming? Because I had to. Yeah, I got it, but I got it now. So there you go. Anyway,
I got my DVDs.
Miss, you do, yes.
In fact, this is when they were first putting out DVDs for seasons. So this is like, the season 1 that literally folds out.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's just like, it just keeps going and going and going.
Now play a song, Dave. Well, that reminds me. Do you remember back in the day there was maybe you don't. There was a site called iOffer. You remember that?
Wow.
It was a site where it was technically probably not allowed, but it was a legit site that was up, and people would offer like trades and stuff like that. But everybody on there, they were selling and trading and whatever, like old TV shows, like I got Battle of the Network Stars on there for like super cheap, all episodes, all of the listen, I know these all sound funky, Donnie and Marie shows, Sonny and Cher. I mean, I could go on and on and on, but it was a site like that. Well, listen, Dave, I was a collector. I've always collected. Back in the day when Turner Classic Movies, when I had my DVD recorder, which I still have, I just haven't used it, but I had a DVD recorder, and I'm talking about over 20 years ago. I would record like all the movies on my DVDs recorder, from TCM, like people would on the VHSs. So I had a library, and I'm not joking, Dave, of thousands of movies from TCM. I no longer have those CDs, but I'm just saying I collected them. Actually, they're in a box somewhere. But yeah, back in the day, man, listen, there's a big community that still records an awful lot of TV show stuff. So
interesting.
Yeah, it's kind of a big thing. Anyway.
J.O.B. says go to thrift stores for building your DVD collection.
Yeah.
We actually have, and I'm sure this is nationwide, we have the Friends of the Library where you can go and, get books for $1 or $2 or whatever. But they also have a DVD section where you can pick up DVDs for $1 and CDs for 25 cents and things like that. I've been picking up like Ghost Hunters and
really?
All sorts of, Seinfeld, things like that for like $1,
For $1?
And DVDs. Yeah.
Wow. Very cool. Yeah. See, what is that called again? Friends of
the Library.
Friends of the Library. And that's
all your major libraries have them. Even your not so major libraries. They have this, basically people can come in and bring donations, and it's a wonderful fundraising thing for the library itself. So these aren't really deaccessioned books or anything from the library. These are people who go, I have hundreds of books. I'm not going to read them anymore. Someone dies. Here's their books from the library. Here's DVDs. I stream everything now. And they just drop them off. And you can, it's amazing what you can end up with.
Yeah, I'm going to have to check that out, man. Absolutely. Okay, so there you go. Columbo. Next week is Art Bell and Men in Black. So yeah, get ready for some paranormal talk and lots of interesting theories on Men in Black. I may even have pictures to accompany the show next week. So
and if we still need to decide on a particular episode.
oh, that's true. Yes, there were quite a few episodes of Art Bell that discussed Men in Black. So we will narrow that down and figure it out. Hey, Dan Swan, what's going on? Period M. Okay. Does that stand for anything?
I don't know.
Dotton.
Yeah, that's multiple M's.
That's Dotton. Dan Swan says Dotton. So everybody, I don't know what to say. Okay. Anyways, Dave, good show as always. Thank you, everybody. Please make sure you left that like and please leave a comment after the show. There's a lot of you in here. Let's see how many of you leave a comment. Let us know.
Thank you, Lauren W.
Thank you, Lauren. Yeah. Great show tonight.
Actually, my cousin.
That's your cousin?
Yeah.
Oh, well, wow. Hey.
Yeah.
Dave, you are a plethora of knowledge on so many topics. Yes, he is.
So great.
I don't know what I would do without Dave on the show.
Yeah.
Give up.
Probably.
Call it quits.
Or bring Ted back.
Me and Ted went for some Chinese the other day.
Oh.
I come to find out that the shirt is still alive.
The SD shirt?
Yeah, the super. I mean, there's literally no back to it. But he sent me a picture. I should have. No, I'll upload it at a later time. But he's like, yeah, no, let's do a stream real soon so that we can catch up and talk about stuff. So the shirt will probably make an appearance again on the show.
Oh, I hope not.
No, it's going to. How can he not wear that? But I mean, listen, he might as well just go topless, right? I mean, I don't know.
It's pretty rough.
It's rough.
All right.
His boob even popped out. I don't know. One stream, it was disturbing.
Coffee.
To save the least. Dave needs his coffee. Okay. With that said, thank everybody, Dave.
Treat a plane like you would a woman.